is my second quarterly wrap up of the year, and I'm going to go straight into this with the physical books that I read for the year so far. And the first one is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling, and I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads. It's my favourite one in the series, as always, and I listened to the audiobook and read along at different times during the process of reading this, and I enjoyed it immensely. It's the best one out of the lot. I also read The Children Act by Ian McEwan and gave this 3 stars on Goodreads. It wasn't that entertaining and it just wasn't very good to me. The relationships were all really boring. There wasn't anything I'm watching there that was that interesting, and it was all just backstory and a lot of stuff about other cases, and some of the other cases were far more interesting than the current case that she's dealing with in the book, to be honest, and I didn't really care. So I don't even think I'd watch the movie at this point because I was that bored by this. It might be one of those few books where I prefer the movie to the book, and to be honest, I am aware that there's better Ian McEwan books out there, Atonement being one of them. To be honest, unless all of these books are the same and they're all really boring, I don't know, but I'd rather have went for that, to be honest, because the movie's good. At least I know that much. And the next book that I managed to finish was The Visitor by Lee Child. I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. It was probably one of the better ones I've read so far, if I'm honest. I was entertained throughout. I was on the edge of my seat trying to figure out who the person was that was committing murders, and I can recommend this one very highly. And the next one is Lee Child's Echo Burning. This one also got 4 stars, but it wasn't quite as good as The Visitor or some of these other books that I've read. Most of the fast-paced action is in the last 100 pages, where the thriller part applies, really. The rest was all just a lot of slow-moving plot, which would have been fine, but I'm used to a little bit more in that throughout the book with Lee Child's work. So I'm hoping the next one that I read is a little bit better than that. And the next book I have to show you is The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon on audio. I really like the narrator for this one, for the Bone Season series, but I do recommend that you read the first book in the Bone Season series first before you read this, because this is a prequel. And I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads as well. I also read Bella Forrest's A Bringer of Night as well, which is book 81 in A Shade of Vampire series. I gave this 3 stars on Goodreads. What I remember of it is that I was very confused throughout the book because there's so many perspectives throughout the book and so many missions. If you're not taking enough notice throughout the book, it's easy to get confused, and I think that's what the case was with me when I was reading it. I also read single issue comics of The Walking Dead, which were 44, 45, 46 and 47. I don't have physical copies to show you because I read them all on the internet, and they all got 4 stars each as well. I enjoyed all of them. They're very quick and easy reads and get your numbers up on Goodreads quite well, I find, if you think you're behind on your reading and things, which is sometimes what I use them for, to be honest. They are entertaining, but it's good for getting your numbers up and your stats up. I also read Cilka's Journey on Audible as well by Heather Morris. I wasn't as interested in this one, to be honest. It wasn't as good. I didn't connect with the characters, or the main character at least, in this as much as I did with her other work, which was The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which was, I think, a much better story. They are based on real people and real events, but with Cilka's journey, it didn't pack the same punch as the Tattooist of Auschwitz, and so it only got 3 stars on Goodreads, which I regret giving it because it's real people in concentration camps and things, but I just wasn't as interested in this one, unfortunately. So it goes 9 on ebook as well, which is book number 82 in the Shade of Vampire series. I gave this one 4 stars on Goodreads. I believe I took more notice of this one, to be honest, when I read it. I understood what was going on a lot better, so I enjoyed it a little bit more, which is good. Also read the Lumberjanes Volume 1 as well on my local library app on my phone. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. I thought it was okay. I thought the artwork was fantastic and the story was kind of all over the place and jumped around quite a lot, so I gave it 3 stars. If it was just based on the artwork alone, it would have been a 5, a pretty solid 5, but I think because the story wasn't as good as it could have been, it only got the 3, unfortunately. I wish I could have given it a higher. And in total I read a total of 13 books, which over April, May and June, which is pretty good considering, but I did use single issue comics as leverage there to get those numbers up. And this is my quarterly TBR. I'm not sure if I'm doing a separate video or combining the TBR with my quarterly wrap up. So if you see the separate videos, you know I've decided to do separate. But anyways, I'm gonna dive straight into this, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that I know I've got to read, that I at least want to read, and I've got one being delivered soon as well for the Reading Rush TBR that I know I'll be reading, and a potential for another for the Reading Rush, but I'm not sure yet, so I'll wait and see. And one of the things that I have to read is Some Kind of Wonderful by Giovanna Fletcher. I've already read this and I didn't realise this when I bought it, and I repurchased this and checked on Goodreads afterwards, so I'm grateful I didn't pay full price for this. But anyways, I'm going to reread it since I repurchased it, so yep. And I also have a reread of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and I'm currently reading this, and it's going to take us a while to get through this because it's my least favourite book in the entire series. Harry's attitude is a bit shit in this, and he really gets on my nerves, so it takes a long time for us to get through the audiobook. And as much as I can understand Harry's feelings and why he acts the way he does in the book, I still very much get irritated by him throughout the whole thing. And the next thing that I have is The Story of Tracy Beaker by Jacqueline Wilson. I also have another book, I think The Diamond Girls it's called, as well, for another video. And I used to love Tracy Beaker as a kid. I used to like some of her books like Jacqueline Wilson books as well as a child, and I plan to read them during a week, like during a weekly vlog, which you'll find out about soon enough. I also have a copy of The Other People on My Mobile by C.J. Tudor. I haven't read this yet and it's been out a while. I don't know if I'll be buying a physical copy or just trying to read it on the phone yet, to be honest, because I didn't have to pay for this edition. So I'll wait and see how I'm reading this, but it will eventually get read. And I also have A Bender of Spirit, which is book 83 in a Shade of Vampire series by Bella Forrest. I look forward to this. It shouldn't take long to read either. So that's all I've got for this video. so far, and I hope you've enjoyed this video today, even though it's a very quick one, and thanks for watching.